Go ahead and start this meeting. The city council for the city of Brookshire, Texas will hold a regular session city council meeting on December the 5th, 2024 at 7:00 p.m. in city council chambers for the purpose of considering the following. Before we get started, let's have a prayer and
Our gracious Father in heaven, we are thankful for this time to gather together. We're grateful for those that have been chosen to select and lead this city and for thy wisdom with them. We're grateful, Father, for this holiday season and for the opportunity we have to reflect on how we serve each other best by serving thee. And Father, we pray that this night thy Spirit will be with us, that we can find answers to the ways we can serve our citizens, that we can find ways to help them enjoy this time together. And this we pray in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we have roll call, Ms. Molina.
Alderman Green,
Present.
Alderman Taylor,
Here.
Alderman McAnally,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Richards,
Present.
Mayor Branch,
Here.
Alderman McDade.
Present.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
Okay. Next item is number 5, public comments. As by the sheet, there's no one signed in, so we can go on over that. Down to number 6, new business, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 1493 adopting a covered applications and prohibited technology policies that is required by Senate Bill number 1893 of the ADA legislature.
There's no discussion. I move that we would approve Resolution 1493.
A second, and just for clarification for citizens, this is a TikTok ordinance and new law that no TikTok application should be on any government phones, right? So I second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Next we have letter B, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 1494, authorizing the mayor to execute statement release documents with retail pharmacy. Kroger within national, settlement participation, previously approved by the city.
Can we have discussion on, do you remember this one? I mean, this is previous council or?
No, I haven't seen it before, but I know it's been floating around out in there for a while. But did we find out how much the estimated payout is going to be?
I don't know that. This was recommended by the attorneys for us to go ahead and
Yeah.
I've read some of it, and if I'm understanding this correctly, we're releasing Kroger's or anybody associated with them from a lawsuit to receive money. Is that what's happening here?
This is all part of the big opioid settlement. Yeah, it would be a release, and of course the counter issue is.
Right, and is it This concern the city because our healthcare program?
It concerns the city because it's essentially they're going through to government entities and, apportioning part of the settlement money. It doesn't specifically relate to healthcare, it relates more to how much, any government entity is harmed by the national opioid settlement under their
Uh,
harmed by how much.
I tried to do a lot of research. I see some companies are already getting paid out on this, but I just, what concerns me is that we're given a release that we will not sue to receive money. And so did you get any details from anyone? I mean, this was recommended from Olson & Olson, so do you have anything layman that we all can understand?
I don't have a lot of details on it. Generally speaking, the issue with these large national settlements are less about the release for a claim, more about how you would prosecute that claim on the other. Because if you're not participating in the settlement, and you're gonna withdraw, then, the other option would be not to claim, you actually assert that claim yourself in court, and now you're having to pay the extra.
Oh, okay, I understand.
So this is essentially making us part of a class action, and we're just agreeing to the settlement. Is that it?
Right.
Okay.
And not have to fight the battle
Right,
with,
right.
yeah. Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 1494, authorizing the mayor to execute settlement release documents with retail pharmacy Kroger's within that national opioid settlement participation previously approved by City Council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Letter C, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of a rocket license plate reader for the warrant office to be paid out of the court's technology fund. Sorry.
So Sherry's here to talk about it.
Well,
So we found that the rocket license plate, they have one at the police department. Maximiliano Rodriguez wants another one to help him because he goes house to house. He's serving our warrants and he's, trying to read license plates just in case at the houses for anything that comes up. This will be beneficial to him, and because he works for the courts in serving warrants, we are able to take it out of our technology fund.
and maybe this is a question for the chief. I did some research on this, and is this Flocka? Because when I plugged this in, Flocka came up, and some other things came up. So I'm sorry, Ms. Brown, you say we currently have a vehicle that's equipped with this technology already? Or we don't have, we do not?
We are working on, whenever the city purchased the body utility cameras, before I arrived, that was part of the package, was a license plate recognition camera. It has not been deployed at this time because we're working with DPS to obtain a memo of understanding in order to access the DPS database to read license plates.
It was part of the package.
Yes, sir. So it was the body cameras and the cameras inside the car.
So you guys need to get a DPS agreement in place, but you guys don't need that?
Same thing. It would be the same.
It'd be the same.
So, I'm sorry.
Go
Go ahead, finish.
No,
Go.
I was just saying, so we have one that's not currently being deployed. Do you have a specified use you want to use it for?
Just to read license plates.
I mean, could it be passed to the warrant officer?
Good?
But you all have MDTs in your vehicle, right?
Right. So the license plate recognition, the technology, basically it's a camera that's mounted to the vehicle, and as it drives around, it reads the license plates. Basically, what that helps you do is obtain information on stolen vehicles. You could put in, if you're looking for a particular vehicle, you can put that information in there. It'll tell you who's wanted, who has warrants. It helps you locate offenders.
I mean, you have a mobile data terminal. They could easily plug those lights. So you just wanted to just randomly read,
That's what it does.
yeah, randomly read license plates. Is that?
Tool.
This is what Flocka did. Flocka did the same thing, right?
Flock, those were fixed, to be
Yeah.
fixed cameras.
But they would read license plates and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And is there any other agencies that have this technology right now?
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them do have it. A lot of them do have
You
it.
don't need, what I was gonna say is you don't need probable cause to run a license plate. A license plate's there for
It's in the public.
general
right?
viewing, it's
No.
the public eye.
My only question was just if we have one, that we don't have plans for, why would we purchase a second one? And when we could just assign it
The
over?
thing is, if we put one on the warrant officer car, he'll utilize it when he's driving it around town.
So he's gonna look.
It's random. If we have another one on a patrol car that's regular duty, it'll be spending a little bit more time on the street. I'm excited about them because we can run them through the hotel parking lots.
That's harassment,
With,
just to go.
it's not harassment if cars
Just
are
to go
parked in the
running.
parking lot and you drive through there and you can recover stolen vehicles. We have 18-wheelers, trailers, things like that stolen out of the Flying J. And we could recover stolen equipment, stolen vehicles with this kind of tool.
I know laws change. In the past, I've heard officers getting in trouble for randomly running license plates, and I was told that you have to. And I don't know. I'm not a police officer. That you had to have a reason to do that. That's what I was told.
You can run a license plate just to gather intel. Let's say you're getting ready to stop a car,
Mhm.
and you want to know, hey, does it belong in Brookshire?
Mhm.
And you run the plate, and it comes out of somewhere else. Late at night, it's like, well, who's rolling? Who from another town
Yeah.
that's not even nearby? What are they doing here?
I know license plates are being ran because all that information, whether you have insurance on your car, all of that pulls up. So,
So we have.
Dude,
yeah,
we
it's
run
already in there.
Like if
We-
you arrive at a
yeah.
call and you pull up to somebody's house and you're on an alarm or business alarm and you run a plate to see if they're the registered owner of the residence that you're at, and if it doesn't come back to that residence, then that puts you a little bit on more high alert on things to be on the lookout
We-
for.
Yeah.
We have an experience.
And
an
if
ex-
you have like
Does it-
active warrants and
What-
he's going up to a house to serve a warrant, it's just a little bit more protection on the officer's part too, because he's serving a warrant.
It doesn't take pictures of people.
Well, it's just my opinion, and I would like to say also we have an experienced career police officer right here but I think the fear or the concern maybe is that this does not turn into a harassment tool. This does not, that we're not riding around in certain neighborhoods and just running license plates. Are we going to River Oaks and run them? Are we going to, are we going, over here to run them? Are we going, I mean, it could be used that way. You know, if depending on the individual that's driving the car, he could go in a certain neighborhood and just run them over there all the time, you know, and not run them anywhere else. So it's just what kind of standing operating procedures are we going to develop around this product, you know? And so I know it's probably a useful tool for you, for the police department, and make your job easier, whatever. You do have the MDT that you can go in and plug in the license plates manually. So it's just, you know, one of these deals where, you know, we have to make a decision, I guess. But I would like to hear from our experience.
But I think it's a great tool to use, even while you're on duty riding around, instead of going to the computer, punching in the license plate number. That unit on the back will automatically read the license plate. And then if it's something, say if it's something car they're supposed to be looking for it'll automatically come on and alarm for that car. Or if they're looking for a car that's been involved in a murder or anything, that's how you find it in stolen vehicles as well. Because all you have to do is just ride by. That's not riding by reading everybody's plates. You know, it just picks up certain things that it's set for.
So with it, I think I seen the video. It'll just lock on to the license plate.
It's
It'll
Takes
just
a picture, basically.
just
Takes
randomly.
a picture. As soon as it takes a picture, it checks it into the database, and, you know, it happens in seconds.
yeah. The officer's
it's-
not
it's-
sitting there doing it.
No.
No,
And you, that,
It does it by itself.
that also
Yes.
gives them time to focus on other things
Bel-
while you're checking.
Regardless of how y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, regardless of how y'all feel about it, I think everybody in here license plates have been ran by that, what he's talking about. If you drive, everywhere you go.
Houston Parking Enforcement does this all day long.
It's
They have
everywhere
like
already.
20 guys that just drive through the city, and when they see cars that have got a lot of parking tickets, they go and boot them or whatever, just randomly. I mean, 'cause they're just driving down the road, and when they find them. So, I mean, there's lots of agencies that use this type of technology.
I mean, we have 5,000 citizens, right?
My opinion,
Small town, right?
But that's what I'm saying, I don't know if we
Yeah.
need two. That was my concerns. We have one already. And when
Mayor, what is your opinion? Mayor
my
Schwartz?
opinion, I think it's it'll be a great tool for the police department. You know, you can concentrate on driving, looking around also, and with that machine, it's doing its job. Instead of you running every license plate in there, it just goes through there. If it hits on something, then it lets you know, and you can be moving on.
We're a small town, but we have a lot of new people here that's not from here. There's a lot of cars, we get a lot of traffic that come through here. In the past, just think about some of the crime that took place in our community. A lot of the people wasn't from here.
Right.
Can I share a story with you that just occurred the other night?
Yeah.
So our night shift officers were what we call doored up. They were parked on the north side of the city, and a car came into the neighborhood, and when he came around the corner, he blacked out. That means he turned his lights off, drove by, pulled in behind him, turned on their lights to pull him over, initiated a traffic stop, and he ran. It turned into a pursuit. They went all the way through the city. They made their way to the state park, where they bailed out of the vehicle. We apprehended 2 that were from the Arcola area. We know of 3 that got away. We had DPS air support out. We had the Water County Sheriff's Office with their canines. The 2 guys that we did apprehend, and there were two stolen weapons in the vehicle. Those guys are still sitting in jail at $1 million bond because they are involved in organized criminal activity in 13 counties in the state. We got calls from, I can't remember, but far north county within 24 hours of these guys being apprehended, because the news traveled real quick. Because whenever we started clearing the handguns, or confirming the stolen handguns, they went out to like Liberty County, And in Liberty County, those investigators contacted another investigator. So a lot of these guys have been working on this investigation or investigating these individuals for organized crime, and they came through Brookshire. Now, if they came through here with their lights turned off, with stolen guns, what is that? I mean, that tells me that there was something pretty bad fixing to happen.
And that's what I meant by a lot of the crime that's actually taking place. A lot of those people are not from here. Personally seen the officer on foot pursuit from the Shell station
That's correct. Yes, sir. I
on
remember
foot
that.
pursuit, and that car was stolen. And I think that guy got away, and that was really dangerous. I really felt for that officer because he ran across traffic underneath the bridge in between cars while the light was green in foot pursuit, and they ran the opposite way up I-10. And I didn't see it, and I just stopped and looked, and I didn't see the officer for a while, so I didn't know what took place, you know. But
So
if
That's gonna,
I'm just saying, if he had that system in the car, he would have known that that car was stolen. He possibly could have called for backup, and that guy probably wouldn't have gotten away. Now, it can work both ways. I understand, y'all. I'm from here. But I do know that as the city grows, people move to your community and they bring their baggage with them.
so
Not only that, then you get the overflow from Harris County.
Citizens gonna have a chance to say, hey, I got a ticket because he ran my license plate. Where else does he run the license plate? We gonna have access to that? Is that just gonna be for y'all?
well, that's what I was going to ask. My next question is, what kind of reporting does this system do? Because if there's profiling, then we should be able to get a report from it, all right?
It doesn't profile anything. Basically, it just reads license plates.
No, I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about the person behind the wheel. The person behind the wheel that's driving the car, they could be the one doing the profiling.
I think what the point they're making is if he's a warrant officer and he's running warrants in Brookshire, he's looking for people in Brookshire. And I think they're more or less worried that that he's just gonna work Brookshire. Just this software is just for Brookshire, not I-10, not 90, just for Brookshire, because he's the warrant officer.
But he's only gonna run the warrants for Brookshire, and then also, he's also can pull up to the truck stop, run through the parking lot, and might be a stolen vehicle there. It's just not just 'cause they live here in town. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just another tool to help out.
I mean, is there any reporting with this system that if there becomes an issue, that we can come to you and say, show me the report of where this person's been for the last 90 days. Show me where they've driven this car, and we find out that they've driven this car only in a 2-mile radius for the last 90 days. I mean, is there any
I think
report?
it's a bit excessive. Our city's only three square miles.
Well, that's just
and
that's
I
just
know
an
that-
example. It's just an example I gave you, okay? You know,
But the thing is too, yes, sometimes if we do have a problem area, we will focus our attention on that. But it's not gonna be, doesn't have anything to do one way or the other with the camera.
but my question is there any reporting in this system? Does it provides any
No,
reports?
I can't do that right now. If I wanted to map where one of our officers has been in a 10-hour period out on the street.
I think
Like,
from what I
In the
read,
past,
it
the
has,
warrant officer he did a report, and it was reported to department head, and department head reported it to the mayor, and the mayor placed it.
But I
think
you
it
guys
has
each wanna know
software.
Where
From
the
what-
car's been or
from
where
what
it
I
may be
read-
focusing its time.
I think for the
Okay.
little bit that I scanned over this document, it has software attached to this program, from what I've read in here. So, and I'm just asking, has someone did the research to find out is there any programming? Because Flocka got sued, okay, because of it. And that's why I'm asking, are we gonna be able to, if someone brings a lawsuit on the city and say, you're profiling my neighborhood, my area, okay, are we gonna be able to defend it?
I can't tell you.
Okay. mean,
The only thing I can say is that, like I said, it's attached to a car and it takes pictures of license
That's
plates.
it.
Okay.
And it's no different than running a plate on an MDC, other
It's
than
no
it just.
different than
and-
using the tollway as well. They use the same, sort of same issue. Cause, you know, they can run the plates and find out how many trips you made through there and didn't pay and all of that. That is doing the same thing. It's all the same.
all right, I guess we move on.
I have nothing. Thank you all.
Table it.
You said we,
Going with this.
you said we have this system in another car already or something similar?
Not been deployed, no, sir.
Why is that?
They're waiting for a MOM from the DPS.
How long have we had it? Since it came with the body, and how long?
Honestly, we just recently discovered it as we've been putting cameras in the car. It was in the paperwork, and we were asking, where's our camera? If that came with the package.
So we already have the technology here then. Basically, it's already here. It's in the car already.
No, it's not in the car.
It's not, it's
Well-
not.
It's not deployed.
Well, I'm confused because
When I came to work here, we had a stack of cameras, body cameras, car cameras, and what are we doing with this? And I think they'd put it in 2 vehicles. And then, of course, as we were starting to get new cars, we were gonna put them in the older cars, and we knew we had new cars coming, so then we started putting the new cameras with the upfitting of the new vehicles. And then as we were looking at the contract and the paperwork of what was agreed upon and what they were gonna send
with
us,
it, right.
that's whenever we discovered, hey, we're supposed to be getting, and I believe it actually said 2. Well, I thought it was 2 separate systems, but it's 2 cameras for 1 vehicle. So we have them, like I said, they have not been put on a car yet, because we can't use it because you can't access DPS, their database for running the plates like you would on the computer.
so we have the equipment, right?
We have that, yes.
We have the equipment.
Yes, sir. We don't have an
and-
MOU yet.
And so we have the equipment, and we're trying to purchase a second unit, but we have the equipment that came with the original equipment that was purchased with some other things.
Yes, sir.
And we haven't got an interlocal agreement with the DPS to implement the equipment that we already have.
That's correct.
And if we did nothing today, you could move forward with putting that equipment that you already have in with DPS and just move forward with the one we have.
Yes, sir.
So it's already here.
So why don't we do that?
It is here.
It's already here.
I said 10 minutes
Because
ago. That's what I said 10
the
minutes
thing
ago.
is, so Officer Rodriguez has a vehicle that's assigned to him while he's here working to specifically drive around. He's also our sex offender, does our sex offender registrations, and he does the warrants. That's what I was initially saying,
Okay.
that whenever he's out on the street, he's not gonna just be, his day does not consist of being on patrol. He's either checking on sex offender registration or he's going and checking on warrants.
So we're just basically approving a second unit. 'Cause we already have one. We just don't have the agreement in place.
Is it possible that you can put that in his car,
It is.
deploy it, come back, let us know how it goes, since it's already purchased, and we'll move from there.
We'll go that route.
Okay, thank you,
Makes
sir.
sense.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara.
Well, Monique and I think were the only ones around when those were purchased last time. We knew there was supposed to be one.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
knew
you
about
didn't?
the cameras, but not that.
What are we gonna
Not
do?
the back of the weed.
That's a no action.
No action.
No motion, no action.
Hey. Letter D, discussion and possible action to update of Hovis Park repairs.
Ms. Clint here? No.
No,
No, he's like, he didn't come, I have information.
You have information? Okay, can you share with us, please?
So we went out to Hovis Park with Mr. Richards, Clint and I. We went through some things that needed to be repaired. One of those things was the bleachers. They've gone out and they've welded those bleachers that were broken. We also found that we had 2 sets of bleachers that were stolen. So that's an issue. The dugout that we talked about, one dugout had been repaired. The other one still doesn't have a roof. Mr. Richards got me an estimate for some repairs. I've reached out to that contractor. We're gonna meet out next week to just talk about those cross beams we talked about on those, to make that as safe as possible under there.
That's the visitor dugouts, right?
Huh?
I said, that's the visitor dugout, right?
I'm not sure which one it is. So we're doing that next week. There was an issue with drainage between the 2 fields to the left of the concession stand. They've put the gravel in there. Tennis nets have been installed. Basketball goals are here. With the weather, I don't think they got them up this week, but they'll be up next week. And the only thing left on there was the roll-up door, which we're still working on getting that fixed.
they also, put some panels on some of the electric
Oh, yes,
wire
yeah.
over there that didn't have panels.
Yes, yeah. And we're locking that electrical panel, the old one that we talked about. We put a lock on that.
All right, excellent. Thank you for getting that done.
You're
It's
welcome.
timely manner, yeah.
Is there any further action that you want to do with that? No? Good. Nice job.
Okay, letter E, discussion and possible action to approve Economic Development Corps to go out for bids for a new lawnmower care contract.
Okay. So,
That's one of y'all.
was it? Yeah. So EDC, and so currently, all of the lawn care is done by city employees with the exception of landscaping. So that would be Highway 90, the crepe myrtle trees that are there, and landscaping at City Hall once the project is finished here. The museum, and then trimming of the trees, and then flower beds. And so that's what the EDC project is, to go out for bid for these services.
I'm sorry, so you are going to include mowing into that, or we're going to leave mowing with the city?
Mowing is done with the city, yes.
Okay,
Currently done with the city. This is
So-
mostly
either way.
yeah, landscaping, flower bed, tree trimming, and you know it's always more economical to have a contract in place than a month-to-month agreement. Okay, and that's why this was added to the agenda for EDC during the budget process. So right now, I would like to make a motion that we go out for bid to approve this EDC project for request for quotes or something.
We have a second.
Second. You third.
Fourth.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have letter F, discussion and possible action to approve Economic Development Corps to go out to bid for quotes for replacement at the amphitheater side.
So this is also an EDC project. The EDC board would recommend that we just change the amphitheater sign to just say City of Brookshire Amphitheater. And
What does it say currently?
right now it has a lot of dedications on here, and it has EDC board members on here that they change all the time. So there's some of the information's inaccurate. Council members here that are no longer here. So it's kind of confusing.
Well, I'll say this, considering the controversy behind some of the way the money was spent and who was entitled to benefit from it, that needs to be changed. And just leave it as from the city of Brookshire,
City of Brookshire Amphitheater.
or and the EDC. Yes.
At some points, I have heard it referred to as the Zahaman Amphitheater. Is that still something that's in consideration? I'm sorry. At some point, there was some reference to that being called the Zahaman, I think it is, Amphitheater.
I don't know
Is
about
that-
that. I've never even heard of that name.
Listed as on, I mean, I wasn't, it was before, right before I got here that they did that, but at the grand opening, they called it, that's what the naming was. And that's how it's listed on like, maps. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Who is the
what
name?
backstory-
I have no idea. It's just the name that they used. I have no idea where that comes from or anything. I know if you look it up, like if you Google it, that's what it says. It says Zahaman Amphitheater Park
I don't
in
know
Google.
backstory or anything about it.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
if somebody can find out what that means, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know who
yeah.
that is.
One of the original Armenian families.
Oh, is that what it is? So one of the original settlers of this area?
It is the original, but it's one of them.
so City of Brookshire Amphitheater.
Anything either way, but, that's what it's an Armenian.
Yeah. Is there anything from the EDC minutes to, have they decided to name it or anything? telling us
City of
that?
Brookshire Amphitheater.
I don't know.
Right.
I've never heard it referred to since the dedication as that. It's like, so.
Okay.
Well, we're talking about placing the sign up there.
Right. I'm just saying if the official name is that, then we should have a sign with that official name on it. I just didn't know.
Check, please. Okay, so
Can we table this until next meeting so we can
Okay.
check on that?
you making a motion to table it?
I make a motion we table this and so city staff can check on that name, see what's going on.
I thought the purpose was to change the name,
Well, Erica gonna do research, right, Miss Molina?
even if it's still going to be changed, right?
It'll be changed, but it'll be, I mean, we need to find out the significance of that name, I guess.
I guess
What is it that can?
dedicated as that.
Yeah.
Well, and it just depends if it was dedicated and there were families that were, I mean, it probably does heed some.
Oh.
Let's do a little research on it before we make a decision. Okay.
Okay. All in favor to table?
Aye.
Aye.
Letter G, discussion and possible action approve the Economic Development Corporation to go out to bid for quotes to reinstall the Armstrong Memorial Plaque at the Donigan House.
Right. So the Armstrong Memorial Plaque was there at the museum originally, and Mr. Armstrong, as I understand, owned a hardware store here in Brookshire, and he dedicated most of the material to build a museum, and therefore, and he also was, I think, a veteran and all of that too, and that's why it was dedicated to him as a memorial, and it's registered. It is a registered historical plaque. So, and it was removed, and it's an EDC project that plaque be reinstalled. And we'd like to have a contractor do it because the blue sign is there now, and if it's removed, it probably has studs holding it in and maybe a little bit damage to the brick wall. So I think it would be good to have a contractor come out and reinstall it.
If y'all don't know, what he's referring to is that brick memorial right across the street. And yeah, they, for whatever reason, they decided to take that memorial down and just put
What they want to.
that on there. And they initially, what we just talked about in the previous agenda item, that's what took place.
So I'll make a motion that we go out for bid to contractor to reinstall the Edward Armstrong Memorial sign at the museum.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, letter H. Discussion and possible action to contract or hire animal control officer.
I asked for this being on the agenda. I've been in communication with a gentleman named Paul Miller, who is a licensed animal control officer.
What's his name?
Paul Miller.
Paul Miller.
He can't be here tonight. He's been out. I've been in communication with him. He was supposed to be here, but he still is interested in helping us in any way. What I'll do is get some information on his services, what he may potentially want to charge us, and I'll make sure that council get that, and I would like to have this back on the next agenda. That way we have a little bit more information.
Do you want to table it?
Yes, sir.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is I. Discussion and possible action regarding Brookshire Youth Advisory Council.
And you all have copies, Reverend Jones sent these over this last.
Yes.
meeting.
And
This is what was in place.
Mr. Jones is here today to give us some information about the program.
Great day to you, Brother Mayor, and to the council, and to all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen that sits behind me. I ask to be excused once I finish speaking with you, and I pray you accept that. 2019, we launched a vision within our community with the Brookshire Youth Advisory Council of young people coming from Royal ISD, and those students that's being homeschooled as well in the area. It was August, I truly believe. We kicked off this program, and we made our way to the actual conference at February of 2020. It was there where we got acknowledgments from TML for the 6 months of our service. We did more work than any other YAC program within the state of Texas. It's 32 programs from different cities from the state of Texas, and I'm just elephant happy to just see our name on the website as one of them. This program benefits our young people. They work constructively with our city council, with events, planning, with the concern, and more so to say like a liaison for our youth and young adults within our community. Doing community service work. If you go back, since we're acknowledging history, you'll find out the projects of cleaning up the city and having various cleanup dump sites within our city. We worked through that. Also working with the community Christmas drive. So it gave them opportunity to move forward, and also they can use this, the YAC program, Brookshire Youth Advisory Commission, which served, and they can use that as for their college resumes. I apologize, but you had all that information before you. I don't want to bore your time, so this is my passion. But I spoke with Alderman Green concerning these efforts. It did stop 3 years ago, when new administration came through, our young people was distraught about this, and this is not upon anyone. We're not saying that on tonight, but we are saying, I spoke to Mr. Green, his thoughts, and then I spoke with Mr. Richards concerning his thoughts upon this. As I said earlier, that our young people excelled. 6 months of work and did more work, and this is on record, concerning their efforts within community assignments. But also with that, they have also excelled in their schoolwork. They excelled on basketball courts. They excelled on the football field. Matter of fact, Ms. McDay's daughter was a part of that group of the YAC program. So if you have any questions for me, because I can continue to go on and on, but I am extremely tired. And don't forget, I live on batteries. I did change it before I came. Also, we was working to move forward with a junior fire department and also a junior police department, not a police department, but juniors who was interested in being police officers. These would work with them. They're consisting of their meetings would be an advisory board. That's the adults. And I believe the money, if I'm not mistaken, that's not my concern. What's in the budget, just help us get to the conference. But that's all I had asked before, because I knew that I would have parents that was eager and wanted to see this program take place, and they was willing to help to raise money for the other events that was on the way. So I'm gonna ask one more time. You got some questions?
So previously, was this run by city staff, by volunteers, by teachers? Who was in like 2019? Who was organizing it and doing all that great work?
To God be the glory.
Amen.
I will say that much. I took sick in 2019. I had a procedure done. Matter of fact, I had just got out the hospital the day before they left to go to the conference. But something pushed me. Bless your heart, baby. Something pushed me to go. And I'm glad I went, because I was able to hear that announcement that came from a TML representative concerning the work of our young people. What that board consists of, adults that was in the community. I know Officer Richards was a part of it. Lakeithia Corner was a part. Chief Officer Stamps was a part. Jesse Vargas was a part of the commission, and I served as president. As far as the youth, the council, the youth council itself was made up of students from Royal ISD and homeschooled within the area.
And you're looking to reform that same kind of structure?
We can restore.
I love it. I love the idea.
Appreciate it.
I think we need something like this for our youth. I know Royal does some
Amazing work.
volunteer
Yes.
programs and some great things, but I think the city is missing out on an opportunity by not having this an active part of what we're doing, and I support it 100%.
I'm glad you said that, because regardless of the size of the city, every city can really arguably say they have one thing that's great in common, is their young
That's
people.
right. That's right.
And
Absolutely.
because that is the legacy is being left on them. You know, that's why I hurt when I saw those bricks removed in the front. I grew up knowing some of those people, and that left legacy there. But it was removed, and matter of fact, I have to pause, brother attorney, stop me if I'm wrong, because this ain't an agenda item. But I have to thank the city for allowing us to have that Thanksgiving dinner, luncheon, because it allowed our young people to serve the seniors who labored in this community. And it was a true blessing. I'm talking, those of you that was here, thank you for coming. But we had a great time. Brother May, I appreciate you. He was on the wall eating turkey, but he looked good doing it. Mr. McDay, thank you so much. Mr. Richards, thank you as well. I appreciate you for what you did. And Dr. Green, I appreciate you. And Sister Green?
Well, I think this is a really good program, and I know that We did, there is a
Talking
budget
case.
for it, right?
I'm
We
talking about
budgeted,
the
yeah.
We did pass budget
Right.
for it, yeah.
We passed budget for it, so, I agree with Mr. McNally, it's an excellent program, and, the city, I think the city should participate, yeah, and there is a budget for it, in FY '25.
So I guess at this point, the next step would be going and looking for applications for members of that commission again, under our new process, and putting that board together, and then, once we have that, letting the youth know that we can start recruiting.
If it is allowed, because I knew that question would come up, of getting a new structured board together. If that is allowed, that we should move forward, yes, we will have a process of going back through that. Now, the board commissioners, the adults, would have to come through the city council. So you get to vote on who you really want to sit on that board.
Right, yeah, we just approved a
Yes, sir.
new procedure here in the city for any commission,
Yes.
that we have an official form they have to fill out and all kinds of stuff now, so, yeah.
All right, I knew the question would come up.
I like this, and I'd like to move that we open up the application process for a commission for the Brookshire Area Youth Commission and Council.
Now, is that for the adults and the youth, or
Yes,
just the adults?
we'd start off by getting the youth committee together.
Okay.
And then once we have that in place, I think then we just say, youth, it's ready, sign up, and then, of course, your council and committee can figure out what you want to do to
Okay.
bring those youth in.
Just want to word it right when she put it in there.
I second.
Now, I'm gonna drop this announcement in. Ms. Green, that was an awesome pound cake. This is what they call advertisement. Thank you, council. I appreciate you for having me.
Pastor Jones.
When would you like to meet, or do I need to meet with everyone, or how you want to do it?
The first thing we got to do is get a vote to approve, and then from that, we would start the official application process through the city. I don't know, we have those available right now, right? I mean, so we could start letting people fill out applications tomorrow morning if they want.
Yeah, we can make a post.
Have to put it out there
We
first.
can, we'll put a post out, we'll put something out on the city webpage, and we'll start letting folks know.
Procedure. Yes,
Okay,
appreciate you.
all right.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
So got a motion, second?
Who has the motion?
I
She
motioned,
she
he
seconded, somebody seconded
Uh,
it.
Mr. Richards did, I think.
Okay, I got that. All in favor?
Aye.
Long time coming.
And letter J. Discussion and possible action to review the city construction contracts.
So, be the bearer of bad news. I have some concerns about some past construction projects that was done by the city of Brookshire. And I can tell you that these particular companies, one of them is Venus, okay, construction company. The city of Brookshire spent $600,000 with this company in FY '23. The other one is Professional Roofs. The city of Brookshire spent $88,000 with this company in FY '23. And the third one is Amerstar Roofing. City of Brookshire spent $47,000 with this company in FY '23. I would like to make a motion that we receive all of the procurement information for these three companies, all of the checks paid to them, all of the invoices for the repair of the work that was done, and also all permit information for these companies.
I second that
To what end is this? What's the purpose for this?
For review,
But why?
because
for review.
Okay, but why do we need to review these? If they've been approved through city council, the checks have been cut. What are we looking for in the review?
Does the procurement, was all of the procurement activities done correct? As you know, anything over $50,000 must be put out for bid.
Okay.
Was it done correct?
Probably
You
not.
know? Did they pull the proper permits for all the work? Was it inspected? Did the inspectors check it? Did they follow through? Was the repairs exorbitant?
Some of them were. Some of those I was.
Okay, now
city
you know,
council-
right?
I was on council
So that's
before,
what the end is, to review, right?
We had one incident over there at the amphitheater when the wall fell.
Right.
We don't know if any of that construction was done properly. We don't know if inspections were taking place.
And the wiring in the box is substandard, from what I understand, allegedly. So-
I'm sorry, what was substandard?
Allegedly, the wiring in the panel in the amphitheater is substandard, and then the wall fell. But I don't have that on here. I have these three particular companies, and I made a motion, and I think Ms. Eileen seconded.
I second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Nay.
One nay?
It's interesting.
It's a waste of time.
That's very interesting.
Tell me the roofing company.
Venus Construction, Professional Roofs, and Amerstar Roofing.
Thank you.
Next agenda item is number 7, is executive session. I would ask that y'all leave us in here for a few minutes to get this straightened out.
There's not.
Yes, ma'am.
Unless y'all have something specifically to discuss with him, he said there's not an update.
Okay. Well, no. Oh, we
Okay, we're back. It is now 8:09 p.m. Next item would be discussion, possible action resulting from the executive session, which is no.
None.
And future agenda items, number 9, we'll start with Mr. Green.
Yes, sir. Update on the school zone for Taylor's Playhouse on 90.
School zone.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would like to open it up for the citizens to purchase more bricks that will be replaced. And that's all I have there.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Taylor?
I have an announcement. I really don't have an agenda. I'm gonna announce our Senior Citizen Day on December the 19th. It's gonna be at the hangar from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you want to RSVP, you can call or text 832-361-8861. From 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. RSVP again is 832-361-8861. Oh, it's over.
And that's,
It's over because you're supposed to RSVP by the
Oh.
first. I apologize.
okay.
But it's the date is the 19th. Just,
Yes, sure.
yeah, just show up, right?
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Mr. McAnally?
Just to put back on the calendar, we need to recalendar the workshop for the major thoroughfare plan. And I don't care if we do that in open session or if we just want to do that through emails or whatever works with city staff to do that.
Any more?
That's it.
Uh-oh, y'all, grab your books.
Here we go.
Mr. Richards?
Well.
Well,
You said you had none.
No, none.
what?
Not at this time.
Woo, woo. Look, even the missus clapping. Even the missus clapping.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. That's our gift of giving.
It's my deck. Uh-oh. Fill in for you.
Actually, I don't have anything at this time, but I do remember Mr. Richards saying something about social media, bringing the social media person here. That was one of your future agenda items, but I didn't see it on here.
Yeah, presentation from the social
We did.
media.
Ms. Richards and I discussed it. She couldn't make this meeting.
Okay.
So
Oh,
she-
okay,
But he got to visit with her and
okay.
we've talked about.
She almost got you one.
Yes. So, yeah, I want to put that back on there.
Sure, not a problem.
What is that, social media? Then, if there's nothing else. Agenda item number 10, adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.